right, very nice, very evil.
Yeah, that's tag shit.
Free fall as I dive through the kaleidoscope in my mind. No rope up to climb. Gotta remind myself that I'm fine. Mama, I don't really.
What up, Tag Nation? It's your boy, the commish, ScooterRay, and I'm here with another episode of that NXT.A.G. With me, bars, lazy bars, but bars. All right. I've been saying it before, and I'm saying it again. NXT is cooking. NXT is heating up. And we are on that road to Stand and Deliver, which of course you know is part of WrestleMania weekend. And there's a lot of things that went on and went down this episode. You want to hear it? Let's get into it. Stephanie Vaquera comes out. Well, she's walking to the ring and she stopped and she was asked, hey, who are you going to pick to be your opponent at Stand and Deliver? Because Stephanie does get the opportunity to pick her own opponent. So she was like, let me see how this match goes. And, you know, we'll get into it. Now, quick sidebar before we get into the first match of the night. Do y'all think they should have let Stephanie hold on to both belts? I've been seeing this a lot lately. And I can't help but to agree that maybe Stephanie should have still held both belts, because they let her defend them both to get that honor of walking in as champ, walking out as champ. They should have let her defend both belts. And then maybe at Stand and Deliver, she could have lost the Women's North American Championship. And depending on what happens with the NXT Women's Championship, maybe different story. But I think they should have let Stephanie still be champ. I personally think they should have let her be champ. But, you know, those are my thoughts. Those are my feelings. But now you're only going to see two different graphics because there was only two advertised matches. But of course, you know, more went down. But the first match of the night, the Juggernaut, Jordan Grace, and Miss Parker. Jada Parker goes one-on-one. There's a lot of animosity between these two women. And, you know, they got to let the aggression out. Now, it's kind of led to believe that, hey, the winner of this match may be number one contender. May be the one that Stephanie chooses. And they go back and forth. I am really liking Jada Parker. I honestly thought she was going to be better suited in the Women's North American title picture scene. She proved me wrong. I know y'all can't see me, but I'm doing the Drewski, hands in the air. She's proving me wrong. Not that I didn't doubt Jada, but with her charisma, her just aura, and the fact that the crowd just loves her, hey, I'm not mad that she's in the main title picture scene. I'm not mad at all. Whether they give it to her or not in months to come or whatever, I'm just saying, at the end of the day, I'm not mad at it. Ultimately, it led to both of these women going out there and kind of messing with Stephanie in essence. Stephanie kind of tried to slap Jada. Jada moved. She hit Jordan. Then it just led to all three women dueling. So the match was pretty much thrown out. All three women are fighting. And then the music of the beautiful madness. Julia hits. Julia comes out. Stephanie and Julia dispatches Jordan and Jada. And then next thing you know, Julia starts beating up on Stephanie. Hits her with that Northern Lights bomb and everything. And it was like, oh, shit. And yeah. And Julia was like, hey, when it comes down to Stand and Deliver and for this championship, ain't no friends. I want my belt back. So to go ahead and fast forward this. Later on, they asked Stephanie, hey, who are you choosing? And she said, you know what? All three of them. Give me all three. They want to both, like, of course, I'm ad-libbing now. They want to all, come and attack your girl. They all want to be in the mix. They all want to do this. Well, hey, I'll fight all three of them and stand and deliver. So officially, Stephanie Vaquer is defending against Julia, Jada Parker, and Jordan Grace. A fatal four-way for the women's NXT championship. Oh, baby. Oh, baby. Next, we get a segment of Hank and Tank. You know, they still trying to work some things out, work out the kinks in their tag team. Excuse me. Sorry. Pardon me. And they are interrupted by Swipe Right. These are Evolve's kind of main tag team. And Brad Baylor, Ricky Smokes, they're like, hey, we'll show y'all what a real tag team looks like. When we go out there and take on Fraxium, we'll show you what a real tag team looks like. Then we get a segment of the culling. And hey, this is when I can say Sean Spears is kind of that dude. Ever since Sean Spears came out and said, if my career ends at NXT, I'm happy to do what I need to do to propel the up and comers. Because Sean Spears was having a segment and Sean Spears was like, hey, hold y'all heads up high. I'm proud to say I was finally a champion in WWE. Though it didn't last long, but he was like, hey, the culling wasn't about me. It was about you three. It was about you three and how to make you three the next up. So he was like, hey, Izzy, you have a chance to qualify for that North American Championship. And Nico and Brooks, y'all have a chance. I mean, y'all have a match against Hank and Tank. So I want y'all three to go out and be the best while I sit here and mentor. And all I could think about was, that's some real shit, because he's saying, he's basically letting us know indirectly that, hey, I'm here to help the new generation. And I was like, damn, that's some real shit there from that boy Sean Spears. Salute to you. But then we get the tag team match, Fraxium versus Swipe Right. Once again, Brad Baylor, Ricky Smokes. Hey, I'm not gonna lie. Though they are the most millennial ass tag team, though they have the most douchey looking look to them, they're not bad. They're pretty athletic. They're not bad. You could tell, of course, they're still quote unquote green. They're still learning. But overall, Swipe Right was not bad. Of course, ultimately, you know, Fraxium had to teach the youngins that, hey, we do this shit. And Fraxium ultimately gets the dub. And later on with Fraxium, well, Fraxium's future. But Swipe Right, though I hate the name and appreciate it at the same time, and though I hate and appreciate the look of Brad and Ricky, Swipe Right wasn't bad. Yep, I'm admitting it. Swipe Right was not bad. Then we get a segment with Fatal Influence. You know, they're kind of upset at the fact that, you know, they wanted to be in, they want to represent one of them in the North American ladder match. And Jasmine Nix was like, no, I'm going to be the one to have the qualifying match. JC, you done your thing. Fallon, you done your thing. I just need y'all to go out there and, you know, be in my corner. So fine. Next matchup for the qualifying match for the women's North American ladder match. North American Championship ladder match at Stand and Deliver. We get Jasmine Nix with Fatal Influence, with Sol Ruka, of course, joined by Zarya. I will say this. Jasmine is not bad. I don't know if Jasmine was doing a lot of wrestling on Level Up, because I didn't watch Level Up a lot. But seeing her in this capacity by herself, she's not bad. And I wonder, did they feel she wasn't necessarily ready for solo action like that? But seeing her in this capacity, Jasmine is not bad. And I wonder, was this kind of a start to kind of get her to wrestle more, or potentially be in more solo matches rather than just tag team? She wasn't bad, but come on, son. Ultimately, she got her soul snatched by Sol Ruka. Sol Ruka caught her. Wow, like I said, snatched the soul. 1, 2, 3. Sol Ruka joins the ladder match. So now, if you're looking at the ladder match, we have Kalani, Zarya, and Sol Ruka. I know. Interesting. Then we get the whole Hank and Tank versus the Culling. Once again, Hank and Tank, aka the Belly Boys, they still trying to figure out themselves and figure out their identity. And it's just not clicking for Hank and Tank as of recently. You know, they are on a losing skid, and it's just not clicking. And it didn't help with this because Nico and Brooks handled business. Ultimately, they get the dub, and the tag team division is heating up. I wonder what's up with OTM at the moment. I didn't see anything if Bronco or Lucian is injured, but it's kind of interesting that this tag team division is heating up, and OTM is kind of nowhere to be found, unfortunately. And I hope neither one are injured, maybe just kind of giving them a little break or something. But if one of them are injured, pray for speedy recovery, and hopefully you get back in that ring as soon as possible, healthy, of course, because no need to rush it. But the Colin gets the dub, and to fast forward that, there's a scene where Hank and Tank was kind of upset and pissed, and they run into the Street Profits, and the Street Profits is like, look, we watched the product. We need y'all to be y'all. And of course, when they're saying this stuff, Angelo Dawkins is staring right at the camera on some gym office type stuff. Or Tyler James Williams in Abbott Elementary. Gregory type staring at the camera. And of course, Street Profits is going to be Street Profits. And they are hyping up Hank and Tank because they was like, hey, be y'all. Be Hank and Tank. No need to be anybody else. Be Hank and Tank, because we just found out there's going to be a tag team gauntlet match next week to determine who Fraxium will face at Stand and Deliver. Now, hopefully I remember all the tag teams. It was Hank and Tank. It was the NQCC of Miles and Tavion. It was the Culling, Nico and Brooks. It was Tyson and Tyreek, and the 15 was, oh no, I forgot. I don't think it might have been Briggs and Inamura, but I don't feel like it was. But there was a 5-team gauntlet match next week, and I'm pretty sure Hank and Tank are going to win that because, like I mentioned, I said it before, I think they're building it for Hank and Tank to beat Fraxium. That they're going to be the team to finally beat Fraxium. And that, Fraxium has kind of been doing that whole infighting a little bit. And it wouldn't surprise me if Hank and Tank are the ones, because I keep saying it. Hank and Tank legit has potential. I truly mean that. I truly do mean that. Next up, well, to rewind, after the tag team match, we do get Ricky Saints come out, and Ricky Saints was like, hey, I told y'all the revolution was going to start. I'm here. I'm doing this thing. you know, I couldn't even be champion for 5 damn minutes before Ethan Page showed up. And as soon as he's kind of getting his bars off, Lexis King show up. Lexis King comes off. He says a few words. Eddie Thorpe shows up. He gets some words off. Wesley comes out. And they're like, I know y'all ain't talking about no North American Championship without your boy. You know, and then they're all in there. Ethan Page kind of sneaks up behind Ricky. And then next thing you know, he takes out Ricky. The 4 other men are kind of fighting. And that led to announcement of a fatal 4-way next week. Page, Thorpe, King, and Lee. Winner takes on Ricky Saints at Stand and Deliver. Trick has a little interview backstage, and he's basically like, hey, we just need to be on the same page enough so we can take care of Dark State. Because I'm whooping their asses. They, as in Oba and Javon, at Stand and Deliver, because I'm getting my NXT championship back. Then we lead into with West's situation. He stays out because he's now taking on Yoshiki and Amora. And this calls from, you know, West kind of feeling disrespected by them, mainly Inamura, and they going one-on-one. Of course, through some interference and shenanigans, which, funny enough, it was more kind of Josh Briggs' fault. Because Inamura was on the top rope to do his little sumo frog splash. I want to say, I think it was Tyreek had jumped on the apron and he had the rope. And when Briggs pulled Tyreek down, he kind of shook the rope, which caused Inamura to fall. From that, he took that cardiac kick. 1, 2, 3. Wesley gets the dub. We get a backstage segment with Oba Femi, and Oba was like, I'm gonna beat DarkState's ass tonight, and I'm gonna beat they asses, Javon and Trick. They stand and deliver because I'm the ruler. Okay, I am the damn ruler of NXT. Then we get to our next qualifying match for the women's North American Championship ladder match. Izzy Dame of the Cullen, Ren Sinclair of the NQCC. Once again, back and forth little contest. And of course, I mean, I told y'all earlier, they had a whole segment and build up of it. But Izzy Dame gets the dub. It was kind of an awkward W because she hit her finisher. And I don't know, is it the way that the ref counted 3 that they didn't pay attention? But it kind of made it look like Izzy won and didn't win, but she did win. So once again, Izzy is added to the match with Sol Ruka, Zarya, and Kalani Jordan. There's still 2 more qualify. There's still 2 more women that qualifies. And from that, I think the qualifying is going to come from the fact that Lash and Jakara and Fatal Influence and Roxanne was all, you know, fussing at Ava, and Ava was like, I think I got an idea about the last 2 spots for Stand and Deliver or something like that. So I guess we'll see come next week what all that means. There was a segment between Chase, Kale, and Uriah. Kale and Uriah was watching like footage. Chase comes back then was like, well, if you would have did A instead of B, and then Chase was like, you know what, no, my bad, y'all don't want my help. And they're like, no, we want your help. So Chase started giving them help, and so I'm assuming we're going to get a Chase U 2.0 at some point, or some kind of version of it. Where is Thea? And where is oh my god, I just forgot his name just that fast. Yeah, I forgot his name. Duke Hudson got released. His name was not Sebastian. Oh my gosh, I feel so bad. that I do not remember the other Chase U member. But yeah, I'm assuming there's gonna be a Chase U 2.0 with Chase, Uriah, and Kale. And once again, I don't know if there's going to be they're gonna try to rename it or whatever. Riley Osborne. I had to look it up because it was gonna bother me. Riley Osborne. Where's Riley and where's Thea? That's all I'm saying. And we get to our main event of the night. We have the team of Javon Evans, Trick Williams, Obafemi are going against 3 members of Dark State. So Javon comes out, he gets interrupted, music and everything, by Trick. He gets interrupted by Oba, and then they come out, they're waiting. All 4 members of Dark State come out. They come out, start beating up on the 3, and then that's when it broke down, and that's where we get the team of Dion Lennox, Cutler James, and Saquon Sugars. While Osiris, I forgot his last name just that fast, is on the outside. So, seeing Dark State, I'm not mad. You could tell they have some refining to do. You could tell they still have some tweaks. They still have some, wrinkles to iron out. But I am officially not mad at this stable. I can appreciate the intensity of these men. I can appreciate the fact that they kind of made them this kind of unhinged group to where it wasn't like they were pushovers, because the fact that they're going against the main event of Stand and Deliver was cool. And it seems so awkward because Saquon being so small, but he works because he's kind of like the wild card high flyer, but I'll still get in there and fight you. And then, seeing big Osiris Griffin just out there, and it's like they did not do a bad job putting this group together, and they did a pretty good job not making them wear out their welcome before the whole them just coming out thing got cheesy. Of course, seeing Dion more intense, more just, focused, angry, and things like that, of course, was good to see. But yeah, it was just really great to see these gentlemen, because I don't know if Osiris, Cutler, and Saquon was on Level Up or anything like that prior to this, because all we ever saw was Dion. But they did a pretty good job considering their first match as Dark State was against Javon, Trick, and Oba. Now, you're probably thinking to yourself, okay, but what really went down, Scoot? Well, I'll tell you. These 3 really couldn't get along. Javon was trying. He was trying his best to, quote unquote, be the glue in this team. But Trick's ego and Oba's ego was like, we don't care. We don't care. We'll tag in whoever we want to tag in. We'll ignore whoever. At one point, Oba kind of picked up Saquon and threw him into Trick. And Trick was like, say fam. Say family. Like, what's happening? But ultimately, I want to say it was Cutler, but I can't remember. But ultimately, Oba hits the downfall on Cutler, but then I think Trick tagged himself in. No, I'm sorry, it was Dion. He hit the downfall on Dion, and then Trick tags himself in, which kind of prompted them looking at each other. They started just squaring off on each other and just firing off on each other, which led the fact that Javon had to tag himself in. He hits the frog splash on Dion. Dion kicks out. They promptly hit their 3-team finish, which it needs to be worked on, but I see where they was going with. The idea was for Saquon to be on the turnbuckle, and Cutler and Dion was supposed to kind of swing up or kind of toss up Javon, and Saquon was supposed to kind of come down in a power bomb, and it kind of got his point across, but it kind of didn't, because like I said, fine tune. Once again, this is NXT. You know, everything isn't meant to be crisp. Yep, with the emphasis on the P. Everything ain't meant to be as crisp on the first time around. They gotta fine tune it. But Dark State gets the dub. Yeah. And they're in the ring, standing over Javon, and then the underboss, Stacks, Channing Stacks Lorenzo, comes on and he was like, hey, y'all want to tangle with the D'Angelo family? Y'all want to do this? But how about next week? You meet us in the parking lot. We'll show y'all what happens when you mess with the D'Angelo family. And it was like, ooh. So yeah, that's pretty much NXT for this evening. You know what I'm saying? We're getting closer and closer to Stand and Deliver. Matches are being made. Things are being made clear. Once again, we got Julia defend. No. We got Stephanie Vercourt defending against Julia, Jordan Grace, and Jada Parker for the NXT Women's Championship. We have 4 ladies out of 6 for the Women's North American Championship ladder match. Soruka, Zaria, Kalani Jordan, and Izzy Dane. We have a fatal 4-way to determine who's going to go against Ricky Saints between Eddie Thorpe, Lexis King, Ethan Page, and Wesley. We have the 5-team gauntlet to see who's going to go against Fraxium and Stand and Deliver. And of course, as of now, the main event. I'm assuming they're going to make it the main event. Javon Evans, Trick Williams, Obafemi for the NXT Championship is heating up. Things is looking good with the T at the end. But thank y'all for tuning in. Whether you loved it or hated it, don't forget to rate it thumbs up, thumbs down, like, share, comment, subscribe. After you subscribe, you gotta tag that notification bell. See what I did there? So you can be notified for any videos we post, whether it's NXT.A.G, tier list, hot tags, tag me ins, Dizzle moments, random little vignettes and things I may post on the channel. But yeah, you can be notified for when you get that. Shout outs to the current tag predictions champion / tag in the bank holder, Lip Dizzle, Jaeger Bombastic, so fantastic. The Forbidden Door, Juggernaut 097, Liv's #1 fan, kicking it with Leo. That's the family. That's the brethren. That's our own version of Dark State. Our own version of the bloodline. Because we're trying to take over in the IWC. Whether it's a slow and steady descent, we're trying to take over. Thank y'all for tuning in. Love one another. Love yourself. Take care of one another. Take care of yourself. And until then, as I warm it up, because you can't see me, but just know I'm hitting y'all with this too sweet, just like how Dizzle likes to do. Bada, 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 boom. And ladies and gentlemen, and the Tag Nation, just do one thing. If you don't do anything else, do one thing for your boy Scoot. And that's don't forget to tag out. Peace.